Good morning, Trade Talk. So, how's everybody doing on this fantastic morning? Just bear with me 1 second as I am still trying to get everything situated. And that looks pretty good right there. All right, how is everybody doing on this fantastic Thursday morning? So, before we get into Bitcoin, let's just do a quick recap over here on USDJPY. It was the only thing that I was looking to trade last Tuesday, which was the last time we were live together. Bear with me 1 second. Put that watermark back up there. And basically, we were looking to go short on this, and it was like basically this day. It looks like it was just yesterday, but it was actually Tuesday. So we were looking to take it short simply because we felt as if though we were going to see a pullback. I was also looking at the dollar and a few other metrics. So we decided to take that short, and that short ended up working out. It's the only FX trade that I've taken all week. We basically took this thing right around in here, and it was a nice trade. So now it looks like it's finding a bit of support. Never mind that moving average, as I think some people get a little confused. If you see a moving average on my chart or an RSI on any time frame lower than the daily, I am not looking at it. It's just there because I simply forgot to turn it off. All right, so the only time frame I look at those things is on the daily. So, but anyways, that trade ended up working out. You can see that you did close below daily support. You are getting a slight bit of a pop this morning. That is because the DXY is finding a bit of support. So let's get rid of that. Here. So it's not a big pop, but it is popping off of support. Now, the trend on the dollar on the daily is obviously up, and you have been trading sideways in a box sort of range here. The reason I am using this green candle as support is simply because it was old resistance, and then we gapped up. So this candle right here filled the gap. Well, technically that candle filled the gap as well. So it was just an old resistance. And obviously you can see that you've had two tests of it. So I wanted to see what happened when price got back into it. And we traded back into it yesterday. So we are starting to get a bounce. So as far as looking for shorts on anything versus the dollar, I don't really like it because it's at the low end of this new little range. So basically, if we are looking for shorts, then we're going to be shorting it right into support. So not really a whole lot going on in the FX world this morning. And unfortunately, that's the way it has been in FX for a long time. A lot of things have been moving very good. But the problem with that is actually getting involved with them before the move occurs. We don't want to jump and chase into anything. But right now, there's just not much to do. On the pound here, we have a very, very tiny daily range. Now, that's good because that could indicate that we will potentially see a bigger range today. But if you look at it, I mean, you're in the red. This is the daily open. So you are below the daily open. Very tight range. So I guess if you're looking for longs, you would want to watch that newly formed support down here. See if that holds. An hourly candle below could indicate that you're heading lower. You do have an old supply zone over here as well. That could catch price too. And I would kind of like that to occur because then you would liquidate these two swing lows. But then you got to ask yourself, are you really wanting to short an asset that's red on, or go long on an asset that's red on the day? So really, that's about where we are, right? Since that dollar has found a little bit of support, we are going to have to just kind of wait and see if anything plays out. Now, just because it finds support and had a little 2-hour bounce here, does not mean that it won't get sold into, right? Over here, you had a little bit of that going on. Remember, nice bounce here, then you sold right back into it, and then eventually you broke down. So this could just be a pop in price to get shorts involved. I just don't like shorting it this close to the low end of the range, which means, if this doesn't continue to move higher today, we will probably be looking for a few of these assets to maybe chill out a bit. So that's going to bring us over here to the Bitcoin. So basically, as the thumbnail says, are we into resistance? Well, the simple answer to that is yes, we are. You do have a daily resistance right there. That is the yearly open candle as well. So the top end of that close, or the close of that candle, will be resistance. And for the last 4 days, you have been struggling to close above it. Also, you have this upper edge of this bear flag trend line. If you want to call it a bear flag, if you don't, that's fine too. But we can clearly see that it's still in the side of that trend line. So it's still inside the structure of the bear flag. Now, with that being said, what we wanted to see on Bitcoin was a test above the yearly open, or at least to get up there. And if you remember, I was talking simply about how you could liquidate these swing highs, and that could bring in more demand, and you could get a nice pop and get above that. Well, we've gotten above that, and you've been trading in very tight range for the last 3 days, which we'll go to the hourly chart, and I'll show you that in a second. So there's also, we did break above the 200 exponential moving average, but the 200 moving average is there. The thing about these moving averages is you can find a moving average everywhere, right? But I basically only look at the 4 main ones, the main ones that other people look at. So, the 200 moving average is right there. The exponential's down here. You did break out above that, and it does look good for bullish continuation, right? That's what we were looking for. If we get up here and we control the yearly open, then we will look for bullish price action out of it. But I wanted to see it maintain this above this for, a period of several weeks. What I don't want to see is it just pop up in here and then immediately get crushed or smashed back down into the range. Because if that were to occur, it would look a little bit more bearish, right? Because the liquidation event has happened. So what I mean by that is simple. Since we took out this swing high, you brought in all the new higher buyers, right? All of the demand that was sitting above that has already been triggered. And the market is doing what it does. It takes a few days to chew through the orders and then to see what people want to do. In order for Bitcoin to keep going higher here, you need to have buyers up here. That's what keeps price moving higher. You got to have demand every single price point. If you don't, then the supply will exceed that demand and price will fall. Even though, since you are in a longer term downtrend or, near term downtrend, since the first of the year, let's call it, this could get sold into. Now, a lot of people were saying once you get above this, I guess they were talking about this, 46,000, then, the bears don't have a leg to stand on. And I swear I still do not buy that, simply because you haven't even gotten above the 50% retracement of your main decline. And that's what would have to happen. Now, we have done that on the SPX. We have gotten above the 618 on its main decline. And now it's starting to run out of gas. So what that could simply be is a trap. But with that being said, even if you do fall back under it, which in Bitcoin's case, you're not even up there. So we definitely want to see this thing hold support. You do have a 1-day support zone that you can keep an eye on. And it is going to be that bearish candle right there. So let's go into the intraday chart. And I will show you what I'm talking about. All right, so here you are on the hourly, and you have done nothing for the last 3 days. You're simply pinging back and forth in a very tight and narrowing range. This was support. Then we had this breakdown, closed below. Then you got back up, started to move higher. We were watching this yesterday. Then it fell right back down into it. So, currently, your near-term support is going to be this, because it's holding. You can see there. So, and then that daily support is under you as well. The thing is I don't like buying into rallies like this at the top of them. So that's going to be your daily support. And currently you're trading above it. The thing is when you form ranges like this at the top of the market, it does look more bullish than it does bearish, simply because, the bears have, when the bears are involved, you get big, massive countdown candles. You don't have that here. You're just simply trading back and forth, stopping retail out left and right, because retail loves to buy the tops. They love to wait until you got like 15 green candles in a row before they get involved. The trade to the long side was down here, not up here. That's where we're long, down here. So yes, you can get long up here if this support holds. Just remember that you have a ton of resistance above you. Daily resistance, that trend line resistance, and as well as the 200 moving average. It's just a simple moving average. And that's what's got Bitcoin stalling out, but it's not very bearish. It doesn't look like it's bearish at all. It just looks like it's stalling out at resistance, and it's getting ready to pop again. But I just don't like it, right? If it was down here, or even a retest of the yearly open, and then a support would form there, that would be fantastic. But if you think it's getting ready to run, this looks like a bull flag to you, and you expect Bitcoin to go higher, I guess watch that daily support level right there and the intraday support. And that's basically all I can say on it. There is no trade on basically anything this morning. I've been looking at pretty much everything, and I just do not see anything that has me wanting to take an entry. So I am still holding this long position. Still holding the short position on the USD JPY, and that's pretty much all I've done this week. I've been looking at intraday trades in the stock market. Been adjusting some of those things. Also took a couple positions in a few penny floaters this week, but in Forex and cryptos, I have not done anything. And there's really nothing to do. That's why I haven't done anything. The euro looking like, it's starting to suffer just a little bit because the dollar's finding a little bit of support there. We do have an area of supply right here, but same scenario. This daily range is very, very tiny. You did take out yesterday's high and you are moving lower, but since the London Open, you have been a one-sided market. One-sided. Straight down. Here's going to be your daily open. So if you're not able to get back above that, then you could potentially look for that short side. But as far as I'm concerned, any short position on this asset has already taken place. You're already down 69 pips. So typically on the euro, a 60 pip move would be considered, a decent move. Not right now with the amount of volatility that we have. I know it doesn't look like a lot of volatility, but 69 pips in 3 candles is a lot of volatility in the FX market. And the other day, there was a couple of the yen pairs were up over almost 2%. Those are big, big moves in the world of FX. Pound dollar is potentially sitting at a support zone, but it's a near-term intraday support. Excuse me. Let's get rid of this. Go back into this. So, yeah, that's just a near-term, and it currently is daily support right now, but the daily has not closed, and it will not close until 5 o'clock this evening. But it is support. It's intraday support. Here's your daily open on this. So what I see from this is just sideways chop. Right? You market opens, you go into the Asian session, then you get a run lower, then you pop back up, take out the daily high or make a new daily high at the London session open, and then you sell off. So it's choppy, and as far as getting long here, you could potentially, but you're red on the day, and the dollar is getting that little bounce. So I guess, you can watch it. It's just not something I love. There's nothing about any of these assets that I'm looking at and I'm like, oh yeah, this is the trade. But maybe one of you guys have something else instead, and maybe it is setting up. Euro Swissy having a move down was a daily support, big move now. So Euro Swissy's daily range went right before I went live. This thing was sitting right here at this line. So yeah, starting to come off pretty good now. That's a big a big candle, and it just opened not too long ago. Well, an hour ago to be fair, but still, yeah. 5:30 just came up on me real quick. I was looking for something and it was already too late. So, all right, let's go over here to the dollar CAD. Let's take a look at this thing. This thing was getting crushed, trading sideways for multiple months here, and then you broke down. You broke up first, and then you broke down. So put in a trap. You're down here around this longer term support, and currently it's holding. You do have multiple closes under it, so what I will do in a situation like that is just go ahead and bring the new support over, because that's pretty much done with. So you do have support, and you are seeing a slight bounce, but the asset overall is bearish, very bearish. You didn't quite hit oversold regions. You're starting to get a bounce, so I'm assuming not today, but eventually this thing will get sold right back into, if it's going to continue on the trend it was on. If the dollar breaks out of that little box range, then I would assume a lot of your dollar pairs are going to start to rock and roll. We basically looked at dollar yen already. You're getting that bounce, but it was where it was last night when I signed off and went to bed. Last night we were trading right at this old support zone. Then I woke up and seen this nasty stuff here, right here. But I mean, you're right at it. It's daily support. Daily support. So we'll see if it holds. If this thing starts to trade back under that daily support zone, then we could potentially look for new entries on that, targeting low of day, which would be that wick there. So there is something here, maybe. I hate trading it. I liked it the day I took it, but that move could be done. The Japanese yen has been excruciatingly weak, terribly weak. So here is your Japanese yen. Let's go out to the daily. Just absolutely getting clobbered. But it might have found a near-term low. That is a longer term. Like you're down around areas that this thing hasn't seen in years. All right, in years. So this is this swing low over here from 2015. So 7 years. You're at fresh 7-year lows, but that was put in, at the beginning of the week. Now you're starting to see a little bit of a bounce. And if that wants to continue to happen, then we can look for the yen pairs to continue their little move lower. But probably not the dollar yen, as you're getting that bounce on the dollar today. So unfortunately, not a whole lot to talk about on this live stream. Let's go over here and look at Aussie yen. Same, it looks almost identical to the dollar yen, but this one looks a little bit more weak, right? So this one actually looks like we could probably watch it for a potential entry. So we're going to keep daily support on there. We don't want to mix that up with intraday. We'll call it res now since it's above price. That's going to be daily res. Where's your daily open? Right there. So that's another tick in the box of, potential resistance. So not now, but, around 7, 8 o'clock, a couple hours from now, we'll want to see where this is. See if it's above its daily open. If it's above this, then we don't want to look for shorts, apologies. Nice move lower during the London session. And it looks like, or the Asian session, and then you're getting a bounce from the London session. So the low could be in on the asset. That's the way it is. The low or high of day is usually put in during the London open a lot, right? Like 68% of the time, maybe a little even higher than that. Around 70% of the time, the London session open will put in the low or high of day. So what we'll do is we'll watch 91,485 on the Aussie yen. If it fails to close an hourly above that or creates a new resistance level, currently your resistance is going to be this candle, but I would like to see it up a little higher, up around that daily open. That's where I would like to see it start to falter and then, maybe get that move lower. The SPX, let's go look at it and then I'll answer questions. Excuse me. It's stalling out. Had a nice move a couple days ago. Got above the 618 retracement of the main decline. This, it could be the beginning of the bear market. I mean, the bear market rip your face off rally. They happen. But, when we made this low, we weren't in a bear market yet. You were down 14%. You got to be down 20% to consider it a bear market. But the initial move lower was pretty vicious. And this could simply be a bear market rally. If it is, then it will stall out, right? Look at this support zone. It's an old weekly support. That's currently what's caught price right there. And since you're above the 618 by a pretty good margin, I would want to see it drop back under it. Like, this is going to be your last area or your last area of resistance before price bounced. Got to move higher. So I would want to see this get broke down before I look for short entries just yet. The reason being is because you're still, you're structured bullish. This near-term pop has got you back above your 50 and back above your 21, all that stuff. So technically this thing is structured bullishly now. And, we don't want to short something that is obviously bullish. See, you got back above all your moving averages. That's why that trend line was so very important, and breaking out above it. Could it be a liquidation run? It could, but you got, quite a bit higher than that. So if it's going to roll over, if it's going to be a bear market bounce only, you're going to want to see that thing roll over and get back under the 618 at least before you look for shorts. If you try to short it now, you're going to be shorting into strength, and you're probably going to get stopped out. So it looks similar to Bitcoin, right? Not as long, but it's trading sideways. So it's into resistance, and, it does look like since you're making lower highs and lower lows, it does look like you may find that move, but you're at the very top of a bull market, or not a bull market, but a rally. This is going to be your rally right there. So do you want to short it? You definitely want it to hold against resistance. If you're going to try to short it up here, the top, then right there would have been your entry. So since that's already happened, boom, that was your test of resistance. Then it got fell. You came down. These are very small, the very small range. So you'll want to watch something like that. If this is going to roll over today and you got a target of this support zone down here, you'll want to take profits before price gets in there. So this is the low of day. The low of day target is still intact. So what I would want to see is I would want to see a pop up here. And if that doesn't hold, I definitely do not want to see an hourly close above 46.14. So this is kind of my line in the sand for shorts. If you get above this and close an hourly, then I don't think I would want to look for shorts. But if you get a pop up here and you struggle or fail and roll over, that's probably where you would want to look for your entry. And then your stop would be above that swing high there. Simply because if you get that spike, your stop is wide enough to potentially withstand it. Not a whole lot going on, right? This looks more like a bull flag than a short. So support it's at potential support right here. So I leave the choice up to you, right? If you're looking for shorts, you don't want to see an hourly close above 46.14. If you're looking for longs, you're going to want to not see an hourly close below 46.06. It's just wedging up, and when things wedge up and turn into sideways markets, that's when we get chopped apart. Chopped up. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good mornings. Yeah, I will look at Edom. I will look at your chart as soon as the live stream is over, my friend. Please look at GMT USDT. Sure. Let me move the microphone up a little bit. GMT. Actually, why is my keyboard and everything all jacked up? All right, GMT USDT. Not quite sure what this is. I have no clue. No clue what this is. I've never traded it. Yeah, so that's why you want to look at it. Obviously, it's up a couple 100%, 380%. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what it is. It looks new. Let's see if there's data on Binance. Nope, it's new. It's a new asset. So, I mean, what do you want to do here? You want to buy it? You want to short it? It's obviously super strong. So I don't recommend doing anything with this. I guess if you're looking for shorts, you definitely want to see that resistance hold. $2.03. And you're into it right now. But just understand that this thing has been ripping. I don't know why, right? I don't know anything about it, but it's obviously ripping. So, are you a buyer of this? Do you want to buy it after it's rallied 380%? Watch $1.84 for potential support. That there wasn't really anything there. This old swing, I mean, this is an intraday chart, so yeah. I mean, it looks like it's found support and it's getting a small pop. There's just nothing to do with it, man. Sorry. I mean, when a lot of people they want to see these things because they're moving and they want to trade it, right? Because the hype is real. FOMO is real. People are probably talking about this on Twitter and everywhere else about buy the dip, and unfortunately, there hasn't been a dip in the last 3 days. You've been going straight up, parabolic, almost. 89 cents. Once you got above that, just straight short squeeze. And I don't even know if this thing's old enough to have enough shorts in it. But something's happening. But there's just no trade right now. Watch $2.03. See if that holds as resistance. If it does, you could potentially take a short on it. But yeah, it's very strong. Very strong. Did he just call me a trader? Traitor? Trader. Trader. And okay, there's that. Good morning, all. Monthly close. Yeah, I guess I could say something about that. It is here, right? Tomorrow. Let's see here. It looks fantastic. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. That's a good looking monthly close. You're above. That's going to be the yearly open. So it looks fantastic. I do not see it dropping back down in one day, but anything's possible, right? Even if you were to drop back down and close back under on the monthly, the yearly open, that wouldn't look so bad. It wouldn't look great, but it wouldn't look terrible. So here's the thing on the monthly. We know that the 21 exponential moving average is still under it, and it was the whole time. So that's one reason why people are saying that this isn't a bear market. But if you go look at the BLX index, you're going to see that every time you did get below the 21 exponential moving average on Bitcoin, you were pretty close in making the bear market low. So waiting for it to get under the 21 before you can consider it a bear market is a little bit late, and you could be right around the bottom. But what you've done here is by taking out this monthly high, you set in a near-term bottom. And people are going to look at that as such. Like a local low, local highs, things like that. There are a few metrics that, could indicate that we're probably going to see more upside. A lot of them in the Glassnode charts. There's a lot of Glassnode stuff as well that indicates that we're seeing more accumulation than distribution. And that typically means that you do get a little bit more of a push higher. There's an old monthly res. You're just above that. A close under that wouldn't really signify anything to me. Yeah, right. It looks good on the month. There's just, I would like it to be somewhere else. She did break out of the range. What we really don't want to see is for it to get back under something like last month's or this current month's open. That wouldn't look very good. But I don't think you're going to do that in one day. Let's see how far that is away. Not a lot. So it doesn't take long. But everything looks like it wants to continue higher. 3-4 days above the yearly open is not enough time for me. As long as it's holding support, you can look for bullish entries. But just remember, these things can take a lot of time to work itself out. The 2-week time frame, you closed very good last 2-week candle. This session, that is a fantastic close. Looks great. Took out resistance, and look how you took out resistance. You see how resistance is basically around the midpoint of this bullish candle? That typically is a good sign for your rally, right? Because it requires quite a bit of stuff to get over it. And then to close up there, I mean, it looks fantastic. Looks like we could potentially see more. The new 2-week candle that just opened a few days ago is stalling out, and the range on it is very small. That's simply because it came into resistance. You got 2-week resistance, and it's trading right at it right now. That's that monthly, but right on it. That 2-week resistance level. You have multiple resistances here. Multiple resistances. So, I mean, what I would like to see is it to pull back down to the yearly open and hold that, right? Because here's the yearly open candle, but this bear candle right there acts as support. So we do have a potential support zone a little bit lower. Not much, but a little bit. But that's where we want to see price hold. If you drop back under it, you're probably going a little bit lower, like back down to 44K-ish. But this, typically when you have a rejection, it's quick, like this, right? You trade up into resistance, and you have maybe 1 day, 2-day consolidation, then down. So far, this is day 4 of treating $47,299 as resistance, if you're looking at that as the 2-week level. So, yeah, it looks like it wants to run. When it does stuff like that, it just looks like it wants to break out. To me. Guten Morgen. Guten Morgen. Good morning, my friends. Good morning. Lots of good mornings. I just saw you spoke about Virgin Galactic a few weeks back. Did you see it started to pop again? Same with GME. Yeah. I mean, that's when you want to buy these things, right? That's when you want to buy these things. I got in at around $10. Well, it's $10.30 is my entry. It's starting to look better, right? But I bought this as a long-term hodl simply because it got crushed. That is crushed. I mean, you can see that it was well under its IPO. Well under it. And in my opinion, the thing of it is there's not really a good business model, right? I mean, in the current economic backdrop that we have right now, I just don't see a lot of people taking a trip, to space. And that's basically what that model is, right? Flying billionaires into space. Yeah, I do like it eventually, but it's just a long-term hold. So I was sitting in drawdown on this particular position for a while. It's not in drawdown now, but I'm not going to exit. I bought this purely because it was off so much. Not buying a falling knife or anything like that. It's just typically in the stock market, if you have an asset that is off 70, 80%, if it's a good company, it's worth picking up shares. Let's go look at GameStop, the biggest meme stock of all. Biggest meme stock of all. Still trading at $166. That is insane. Let's get it off log, though, so we can truly see what it looks like. Yeah, that's just insane. Insane. Yep, nice pop. Been trading down for a little while, several weeks, same time that space fell. Yeah, nice little pop. Yep, just a trap. And they're all over the place. I mean, it's fantastic. Look at this. One day you close below support, another day push lower, then boom, right out of there. Trappity trap. So there it is. There's really nothing to do on it now. And I don't know how much this is actually in the SPX or if it's even in the SPX, but yeah, just keep an eye on it. This thing, obviously, people are still trading it. It's at $166 still. Oh man, $20, $160. It's crazy, absolutely insane to me. This is probably done. I mean, unless they turn the company around and they start making money again, there's your earnings. Well, it's not so bad, is it? The last several earnings have been misses. There's a win, miss, win, miss, miss, win, miss, miss. So I mean, it's hit or miss, right? A nice pop though, from $93 up to $166. That is damn near a 100% move, my friend. Good job if you bought it down there. Take profits, or I don't know if it's a long-term hodl for you, or if you're just saying, hey, look at it because it's got a spike. But chances are this spike will get sold into. Right? So far, every time we've gotten a nice rally, it's been sold into. Rally, sold into. Rally, sold into. Rally, sold into. We'll see, though. Right? We'll see if it continues to go up or not. I don't think there's enough people. I don't think there's enough people out there to cause another short squeeze on this thing. And, the fundamentals may change on it. Somebody else bought a big share of it, a big piece of it. So let's see what they do with it. Wait a minute. Where's that comment? Okay, I missed a couple of comments. OCUP. Ticker symbol. OCUP. What is this? Let's look at it. It's at the NASDAQ. So it doesn't have a great chart. It only goes down. Yeah, this is a disgusting chart. So many reverse stock splits. Now, I don't know if it's a lot of reverse stock splits, but that's what it looks like to me. This chart, see how yeah, this is reverse stock splits. So the company sucks. Every time it gets, close to being zero, they do a reverse split. And that gives them, a chance to get it back up to $10. But every time it just gets sold. Nice. It has had a nice couple big bullish pops before. But I mean, man, this thing looks bad. And you're falling down. That is a bearish. Excuse me. That is a bearish engulfing. I wouldn't short it because there's not much left on it to short. I don't even know if you can short this asset. I know when some companies get beat down so much, I don't know, right? It's hard to find shares too short. I don't know if this is one of them or not, but I would definitely, watch around that area for potential resistance if it gets back up there. Or you could even look for there, but it's definitely not good, man. Not good. Will it hold the bounce? It's highly unlikely. This thing, every single time in its entire life, has gotten any kind of bullish momentum, it has been sold off. So another chance here, bullish momentum, and you can see right away they are hammering down. I don't know what it is, but I don't know if I'd be a buyer of that. Oh, okay, that's where it was. Okay, perfect. Fell at 10. Thank you. I lost your comment for a second. I just wanted to make sure you didn't have any other tickers in that sentence. Give your thoughts on URNM for Victor. Yeah, let's go look at it. URNM. URNM, North Shore Global Uranium Mining. This, uranium's been pretty hot lately. Commodities are, skyrocketing thanks to inflation. Not thanks to inflation. That was a joke. Obviously, inflation is bad. Here we are. It looks like it's finding a bit of resistance. This was yesterday though, so yeah, it found resistance at $83. That's a supply zone, and you did pull back off of it a little bit. You do currently have a near-term support zone there, but I don't know where you are early in the morning yet. Oh, I can't stand that hourly chart. This thing is just, it's hard to get specific levels simply because it's so gappy. But, there's old resistance. So that's kind of like going to be your zone or your near-term range. And there. So it does look bullish. Where's it at? Yeah, you're still above the 50, so you would be more on the side of bullishness. So I would wait for it to get down to about $75 and then see if that level holds a support. And there you go, 75.55. See if that level holds a support, and then maybe it gets another pop to the upside. As long as you're structured bullish, then you look for bullish entries. So I don't necessarily like the short where it currently is, but somebody does, right? Because it got beat up yesterday. Not bad. Still closed green on the day. So watch 75.55. See if that holds as support. If it does, you can look for a bullish pop back up to $83. Just trade the range because it's got, it looks like it's building in a pretty clear channel. Pretty clear channel. Something like that. So when anytime you have something like that, when there is, a pretty clear channel being formed, you look to take entries at the low edge or the high edge if you're looking for shorts. So I'd watch at 75.55. USD Turkish lira, that has not been doing a whole lot as of late since it, had the biggest move ever in Forex ever. That move was bigger than when the Swiss franc dropped the euro peg. That was the biggest move in FX of all time until this one. This was a massive, massive, massive move. That is a blow off top. 44% move in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Insane. So it was a blow off top. So why is it just continuing to go higher? Well, it's a currency. It's the Turkish lira. So it's basically inverse of this. So if this is going up, that means the Turkish lira is weakening again. It was extremely weak for a very long time. This was just a lot of volatility, shook out a ton of people. Because this is one of those assets to where you just kind of wait for it to find support and you get long, right? Forever. That's the way it's been. So this move was like to shake all of that out. So, see if the trend continues. It looks like it's trying to. You're seeing a slight bit of a pullback this week. And look at that. Like, these daily ranges are so small. And since it's got crazy spreads on it, like right now it's got 55 pip spread. I remember when it was really volatile, this thing had like 1,000 pip spread in some scenarios, 400 pips some days. But let's just see, 479 pips. So very small moving days these last few days. Resistance held, big move lower. Let's just bring this up here like that. It's not perfect, but it's close enough. Resistance, and then puke. So does the trend continue? I don't know, right? This was a blow off top, but it's been trading sideways long enough now to where if you were going to see that continuation lower, you would have wanted to already. But this could mean that the government is actually doing something to control that decline. So if this goes down, that means the Turkish lira is gaining strength. If it's going up, then that means the Turkish lira is weakening versus the dollar. So if the dollar gets strong, this should go up. Kinda, sorta. But if you're looking for new entries, well, I don't think I would. Well, maybe. So obviously, watch yesterday's close. You're above it right now. So what does the intraday chart looks like? Big move. Boom. Yeah, that's what you got to watch out about trading this thing. It can make you a lot of money really quick, but it is very, very volatile. Let's see how big of a move that is. 3%. So it moves absolutely nothing for multiple days in a row, and then up 3%. Watch. That's intraday resistance. You just closed above intraday resistance right there. So watch 1467, 957. See if that holds as resistance. That's a nasty move, man. Nasty move. Be careful trading that, Ahmad. Please. Especially levered up 50x. And wherever you are, you might be, your broker might offer a lot more than 50x. Assets like this can kill you if you are not on the right side of it. So watch resistance, see if it holds. I mean, look at this. Disgusting, disgusting, disgusting. Just has these brief moments of, ugh. Really useful for me to know that today is a day to stand aside. Thanks, Heath. Yeah, there's not a whole lot going on, man. Not a whole lot. We're gonna watch Aussie yen and see what it does, but I mean that's pretty much it. When I'm looking for day trades, I'm looking for an asset that where I kind of have like a clear directional bias on it, and one that hasn't already made a pretty big move, because that means that, you know, the chances of it making a decent range expansion makes it better or more attractive for me. When something's already moved a lot, I don't like it because the move has already happened more than likely. This hasn't, you know, yeah, it went down and made a new low of day, but if it can hold resistance, might be something we want to look at for some more downside, because the yen has been getting crushed. Yen has been getting crushed. ETC. You didn't say, you just said ETC, so I don't know if you're talking about Ethereum Classic or if you're talking about a stock, because obviously there is a stock, but it's not anything in the US. So I'm going to assume you're talking about Ethereum Classic. I'll look at versus Tether because why not? Daily. So nice big pounce on that. Yeah. Yeah. So another story, this thing was way up, then it came way down. 88% to that swing low down there. From swing high to swing low, 88%. So it's probably going to be determined by whatever Bitcoin does. If Bitcoin has found the low, right, then it's probably going to go higher. A lot of people are asking me if we're into alt season or what. I mean, it does look like it because you do have some alts that are absolutely rocking and rolling right now. But these pops and downtrends can get sold into. But after it's been down 88%, you know, I don't know if I'd be a buyer up there. It is in an obvious downtrend and has been in one for a very long time. But it did get a nice bounce off the lows. So what this could be is this could just be a short squeeze, meaning like it could find resistance again and then roll back over, which is probably what I would be betting on. But the thing is that's a pretty good sized bounce. Yeah, your moving averages aren't going to tell you nothing right now. Well oversold. Well oversold. So see if resistance holds. Definitely don't buy it. Not yet. I mean, if you want to buy it, what you want to see it is you want to see support hold. And I don't know if I would even be looking at the first one. This one, I would probably be looking at this one down here, more or less. So I would want to see that hold. There is no more resist or support levels on the daily, but you can see that this candle here stepped sideways. So there's going to be bearish candles inside of this move right there on smaller time frame charts. Maybe your 12, 8 hour. There it is right there. So that's going to be your next potential support zone if it does indeed get sold into. And being that it's made a higher high on price and a lower high on your oscillator, that is bearish div, right? So you do have bearish div on it. Did have a massive pop in a long-term downtrend. I would probably be more apt to short this, but I would definitely want to see resistance hold first. You have not gotten that. Okay, so basically this thing traded sideways for multiple days, and then you got the pop above. So this day here made a new resistance. You broke above this one, you made a new one. So right now it is currently making higher highs and higher lows, like in the near term. So you definitely don't want to be looking to short it today. You want to wait. I would probably wait for like a bearish engulfing and then look for the next day to potentially get in on the short if you're looking to short it. If you want to buy it, watch 45.09. Definitely got to close dailies above that. Otherwise, your next region is 38.61. Right? But definitely don't buy it here. Bearish div, into res, like not a buying opportunity. But it could be. Could be. That was a pretty good sized move. Let's see how big of a move it was. 108. Well, it's a little bit more. Like 100% gain in the span of a week. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. That's probably a short squeeze. But that's also, a new shorting opportunity. Right now, guys, I mean, I'm not bearish on Bitcoin or anything. Long term, I'm a bull on Bitcoin always. The macro backdrop just does not support a bull market. So you can get big, massive pops in bear markets. They're called rip your face off rallies. They do occur. And it does not signify that it's the end of the bear market. A lot of people haven't even called a bear market on Bitcoin yet. So they're still assuming that, it's going to go higher. New all-time highs this year, probably. All right? Not me. I'm not in that camp. I just, the backdrop just does not support it. Doesn't mean it won't do it, though. Absolutely not. That's just my opinion. And my opinions are wrong a lot. Chant, would you take a look at gold? Yeah, let's go look at gold, and then I'm going to have to start wrapping it up. Just not a whole lot to do today, unfortunately. Gold will probably go down. The macro on gold right now, with everything going on, the interest rate hikes and everything, that's going to be bullish for the dollar. So we're probably looking for gold to continue lower. We did get that move up, set in a nice little trap, and then right back down. But it is holding support at 1917. It is holding support. That is a support test, and so far, a hold. So, would I look to get long gold today? Let's see. No, I mean, you're bearish on the day still. But that is a support test and a hold. Maybe. Definitely just watch the open. Where is it? I think 1800. Or is it 2000 now? The time shift has got me all screwed up. So let's just do it the easy way. Go to the daily and tag it like that. Let's see where it finds it. So it found it at 1600 hours. Well, I doubt that's right, but that's your daily open. So if you're looking to short it, see if that level holds as resistance. the resistance right under it, this candle. Strike a line there, see if that holds. If it does, you could potentially look to short it and look for a new low of day. And it's actually good. You did get that support test and you are getting a bounce, but that provides an opportunity for the daily range to expand. So nice little pop here. You can see how bearish it was. Boom, 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 boom. Dead cat bounce. People jumped in short here too early, right? A few hours of downside, then boom, that right there. So now that it liquidated everybody that got short, if it's going to continue now, I would want to see that hold. 1931, this level here. So if you get back up there and it holds, be looking for short, and I would target the low of day. Because this was your liquidation move here. And then once that occurred, look what happened. Down. Right back down to support. So this looks to me like a bounce only. And I would be looking to take short on gold right there. And then let me do one more and then I'll wrap it up. I bought Space and GME before the original rallies, but regretfully never sold, right? Yeah, I mean, if I would have bought GME way back when, like around $20, and it got up to $400, I would have definitely been taking profits. 100%. For sure. Ethereum Classic, yep. All right, perfect. Looking to short it. Perfect, yeah. So wait for that resistance to form on Ethereum Classic. Wait for it to form. You want to see that resistance hold. Then you want to see a bearish reaction off of it. So the short might not be today. The short might be, a few days from now. But let it set up. Be that sniper. Let price come to you, guys. You don't chase it. You let that come to you. And you'll find that, you just start doing that. Finding higher probable entries. Your P&L curve will start to change its trajectory. And that's the goal. So, and the last one was gold. I like it lower. Let me go look at WTI and then I'll wrap it up. And that'll be it. So here's US oil. Very, very strong move. The problem that I have with oil is that government intervention can make this thing do whatever, right? So watch your technical levels. This isn't quite a blow off top, but it's a pretty big move. Because from here to here was something like 40%. So this, few days right here, this was a big, big move. 40%. Then it immediately got sold right back off. So you got to bounce here and you're back down again. That tells me that maybe for now the rally wants to go sideways a little bit longer. So what you can do, you can watch daily supply. It's as simple as that. You're below daily support, but a spike back up to 105.08 would have me looking for short entries. That's way up there. So chances of that occurring today are probably slim. So, and you can watch near-term resistance. But this looks like it's already happened, right? The move has already occurred. I like it a little bit lower for now, but not much lower, right? Just a little bit lower, because then you're going to come into your longer-term daily and weekly support levels. You got massive support down here on the weekly, right there. So you closed there, and it took 1 to 3 weeks to get above it, and look at the break. So that was a short squeeze. The fact that boom, boom, right back down to that level, and then you got a small bounce right back up to resistance. So I do like it lower for another support test, but I wouldn't be looking for it today because the move's already happened. And that's the thing, right? On the euro and the dollar, same scenario. Move has already happened, and we've been getting that a lot. We've been getting that a lot lately, and that's why it's been pretty frustrating trading Forex lately. All right, you guys have a fantastic day. If you have any questions, as always, drop them down in the comment section, as I do answer all of them, and I will try to get to you as soon as possible. You make sure you guys trade safe, make sure you trade smart, and as always, happy trading, everybody.